This is day 484 of Zohar Pshat, and we are on Daf Ches Amud Aleph, and the new paragraph on Filim Yabaretz, and Filim, the fallen ones in the land. Tani Rabbi Yossi said, Ilin Azael Azael, the Malachim who fell from Shemayim, K'mod Yitmar, like it says, the Apik, some say the Apil, they were removed, Lun Kutsha Brichu Mikdushasa the Ela, K'shbar removed them from the Gushan High. The Gemara asks, the Zohar asks a kind of a practical question. Okay, they're removed from on high, but how can they be sustained in this world? They're angels, they're not human beings. Or my Bechir said, even have them in the receive Ophio faithful arts. So from those who say that the bird flutters on the earth, and he elaborates, Va'itmar, and it's stated, they appear to human beings in the form of human beings. If you're going to ask, how can they change? We know the Malachim are able to change their forms in several different ways. And when they came down, Aglimu Bavir the Amo, they take on clothe themselves in the atmosphere of this world, and they look like human beings. So there's a long derech emes here. He says, Nasu Yoseravim, they become coarser, the golem, and they become a form. But Tzir Ruchani Shalahem, initially, in their in their spiritual format, ad to the point, I guess, it becomes over time, and funny that they take on actually a physical form, Mizeh they in this world. And they remain below in this world, like other people. Zesh says, Ad kan yoima until today, even though they're took on human form, they still have angelic qualities. They remain evidently immortal. Although Russia's obviously at the time of the flood, somehow I guess they were able to escape the Mabul because they still had angelic qualities. But they still remain to say Bahari Chesha in the hills of darkness. They teach sorcery to human beings, Zohar Mishpatim and Pinchas. So there's a famous Ramban at the end of Sefer Bereshis. I don't know if we quote him so far in the series, but how even great tzaddikim, but certainly people like Lior Navi are able to, I think first also Rabbi Nasi, able to take on human form and come down to this world. Then it's coming at the end of Ksuvas, it says that Nasi used to come down every Erev Shabbos and make Kiddush in his home even after he died. And the assumption of the Balei Halacha is that he was motzi them in Kiddush. So therefore he was able to come down in human form even after he died. And evidently saying the issue about Malachim. Now we know about the Malachim in Parshas Vayera. There's a big issue when they came to Avraham Avinu. They actually eat and drink, but they just looked like they were eating and drinking. So according to the Zohar, it seems like it's possible for them even to actually eat and drink. They could take on a material form. Although it sounds in the Derech Emes, it doesn't happen at once. So perhaps even though the Malachim came to Avraham Avinu did take on a human form, nevertheless, they didn't necessarily have the other trappings of humanity, but that happened over time in the case of Azael and Azael, and there was not enough time for that to happen in the case of Gabriel, if I recall correctly. But in any event, there is obviously this idea that they can take on human form and survive in a human milieu, and this would happen to Azael and Azael. Okay. Vahani Azvazol, the Mardula Ela, they rebelled on high. Vaplum Kuchabichon, Kushbaru knocked them down here, causing the fall in air. Vaglimu Bahara, they took on the form of this world. Yiskaimu Bay, and they remained there for Loyachilis Pashtamine. But unlike other Malachim, they can go back up to Shemayim and remove that human form. Azan Azal are stuck. Beside the toe, beside Nashi Alma. And then once they're down here and stuck down here, they started making the mistake of pursuing the women of this world. And as the Derech Emes said, till today they still exist. They teach people sorcery, and they gave birth to children. Because they took on again, it sounds like it took on a human form over an extended period of time. And they're called the giants. Gavrin being in the feeling, they're people, but they're also in the feeling they fell down from heaven. Akum b'nei Elohim, and therefore they're called b'nei Elohim. V'ayitmar, and it's stated, and here it is missing what it's stated, but the interesting, the Tzutzi Zohar says, I am Bereshis Rabbah Percha Vav Hey Reish Shimon Chaim Mikal Koman the Karlum B'nei Elohaya. He cursed people called B'nei. I don't know what it's referring to, but I guess they're not supposed to refer to this B'nei Elohaya because they are fell from Shemayim, or maybe because there's why the Yekers don't say Brich Shmei, because it refers to the law by law in Samichna. There's people afraid the phrase refers to the founder of Christianity. I comment similar to Shlach Kuf Samach Beis, which because the parts of Yaakov, the law by law in Samichna, right? That's the Brich Shmei. So evidently we don't want don't want people to think that they have some divine force. And talk about them as Bnei Elohim, even the Bnei Elohim, even though they are referred to that way. But nevertheless, we are supposed to refrain from referring to them that way in order not to give them credence and significance. Okay, that's the end of the paragraph. We'll stop here for today.